is AprilPvd. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, and share. I cannot believe I'm making this video. I never wanted to be one of those people. I don't believe in proselytizing, and if this is something that is not for you, just don't listen to me. Or listen to me and file it away as information. But I drank for years. Not to excess in my head. I remember having 3 special drinks in my life. I wavered between Long Island iced tea and Sex on the Beach, and then tequila. Oh, the last few years, tequila was everything. Not just any tequila. Had to be 1800 Reposado. It had to be chilled in the freezer, and it was to be consumed with a small amount of very good chocolate, a little bit of salt, let it melt, toss it over. It was my thing. In the course of my life, I have given up a lot of stuff. I never smoked. I gave up heavy drugs early on. Cocaine always scared me, and it was expensive. It was too much. You couldn't do that on a regular basis and keep a budget. I even gave up Sprite. Diet Sprite, or Sprite Zero, used to be so good. Put it in the freezer, let it get real cold. Just don't let it go too far, because then you get snow, an explosion of snow in the freezer. Gave that up. I even gave up sugar in my coffee. But I kept drinking. And I was very sensible about it. When I went out to the club, I would have a couple of drinks, and then I would drink cranberry juice and orange juice, or what I called a virgin sex on the beach. I loved asking for that. But that was in between, the regular sex on the beach, and sometimes shots. And then I retired. No, wait. Before I retired, I would come home from work and shot of tequila would be my thing. And I was sensible. I was a sensible drinker. I never drank to excess at night on the weeknight. I always made it to work on time. There was never a situation where I was hungover, where I was debilitated because of the alcohol in my system. I was always a responsible drinker. I didn't drive, so I didn't have to worry about that. I didn't even go out after I started drinking. I would always make sure I walked my dog and did all the responsible things. I didn't even want to walk and drink, or drink and walk. But on the weekends. And then I remember when it first realized it was a problem for me. And it was when I got up one morning and there was cooked food in the kitchen, and I had no recollection of cooking. There was another time when I turned on the flame under a pan to get it hot, and it was this close to causing a fire. I think about that and I cringe. So what did I do? Did I stop drinking? No. I stopped cooking on the stove. I got these bowls that would let me cook in the microwave, and I got this oven that would cook on the counter that had an app, so it would turn itself off. That was the solution. And I was very, very careful, but I still drank. And I cringe now when I think about it. As a retired person, well, before I retired, I went Drizzly. You could go on an app, press a few buttons, and get tequila delivered to your house. Tequila, the reposado was a big part of my existence. I would give the bottles away for Christmas. I'd give a bottle to the mailman, to neighbors and friends, little small bottles. I'd special order the smaller ones from the liquor store, and I just thought it was so cute. And I would order for myself the 1.75 liter bottles, which started out as like $39.99 and went up to $48.99 when I finally quit. So yeah, I just loved the feeling. I loved going in to and I always kept it stocked. I had a system. I had the bigger bottles down below in the refrigerator. I had 2 smaller bottles up top, and I had a little shot glass that was always iced. And I would make sure each one of them was filled as I used them. Oh my gosh. And I would make sure I had the best chocolate, the Cadbury, the Godiva. And there were times like when I podcast and I needed to be drunk. I needed it because it was the only way I could be creative, which is a myth. I probably wasn't creative. I was drunk. I was podcasting drunk. And now when I listen to other people podcast drunk, I cringe. I literally cringe because I'm like, that was me. I started eating healthier. I started working out, especially when I retired. And I went to the doctors, and the doctor said, you need to cut back on drinking. She didn't even ask me if I was drinking. She says, you need to stop drinking. And I was like, she says, do you drink first thing in the morning? And after I retired, yep. She says, you need to stop that. And my joke, my doctor says I need to stop drinking first thing in the morning. So I started sleeping till noon. It is not funny. Okay, so what brought me to stop? Nothing catastrophic. This is what got me to stop. I had cut back on everything. I wasn't even eating chocolate. I wasn't eating cookies. The only chocolate I was eating was when I was doing a shot. I was eating very healthy food, and my weight was still creeping up. So I decided to see what would happen if I stopped drinking. And I stopped on March 14th, 2023. That was the day I stopped. And within a week, I'd lost 5 pounds. Altogether now, I've lost 14 pounds, I want to say. Yes. And my BMI has gone down. My blood pressure has gone down. And I have been watching, and this is why I'm making this video, because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about people who have stopped and why you should stop. And if this helps some person, if it helps one person, it would be wonderful. You don't need to drink. It's not helping you. It's total poison. And it's things that if I hadn't stopped drinking first, I probably would have just switched. And I don't even know why. I don't remember looking for anything on YouTube. You know, they're always listening. But when these episodes showed up, I started watching them, and I realized you don't need alcohol. Some of these were things like how to go through withdrawal, and I'm very fortunate. I never had any withdrawal. I never had any desire. I still have alcohol, tequila, in my house. I'd moved it out of the refrigerator and into the lower shelves. So it's been 6 weeks now. And the idea of drinking again is just, it just doesn't make sense. Especially since I feel so much healthier. I feel like I'm not in a fog. I was always trying to deal with the fog. Oh, and I used to have heartburn at night all the time. It's gone. It's so many things are just gone. So I just want to say I am enjoying being alcohol free. I'm actually all enhancements. I remember being so excited when they brought in recreational cannabis. And ironically, this past 420 was the first 420 I would have been able to celebrate, because I couldn't smoke while I was working. And then after that, you could only smoke in Rhode Island if you had a medical license card. And my doctor wouldn't give me one, so I didn't until December 1st of last year. And even that I've cut out. And the best part is I am saving so much money. I was spending $50 a week on tequila, the 1.75 liters of 1800 Reposada. And I was buying chocolate bars. I had to keep chocolate bars in stock in the house. And I just feel like I'm making better choices. I'm feeling better about myself. I'm sleeping better, and I no longer take as many naps as I used to take. I think in the past 6 weeks, I've maybe napped 3 times. I feel more responsible, and I feel like I'm released from this hypnotic mindset that alcohol was an acceptable drug. And if you are having any doubts, I advise you to go and explore this. That's it. I am AprilPvd, and I am alcohol free, and I'm loving it.